Kind of an interesting way to start off today's video, huh? It was a long process to kind of fix and correct the issues in that farm that we had made previously, but I feel like we're in a much better spot now, and I can prove that because the farm that we have is actually behaving as needed. Turns out we really just needed to take away the stone flooring, and that's any variant of stone, including deep slate and cobblestone and cobbled deep slate. So if we are to come down here to our little room, we'll go ahead and find that these skeletons are dropping in. They get placed within one strike. It also helps that we have a sharpness 4 sword and a sweeping edge sword, and it has mending on it. I'm not a huge fan of swords in particular, just because I feel like axes do a little bit of a better job. But everything that comes in is within one shot. And then, if for whatever reason we are having issues with skeletons getting stuck up here, we have an access point that we can take. Let's see if I kind of do this. We can come over here and we can hack away at the guys that end up stuck on top of this little platform. The other thing that I went ahead and did is I went ahead and opened up a little bit of an access point. This moss that's right here is actually the base of the water column that will cause the skeletons to slide along before they drop down here. And if for whatever reason we need to get back to the actual spawner, if we come in right through here, this puts us right next to the spawner element itself. So now we've got a decent farm that produces not only experience, but it also provides us with a fair amount of bones and other skeleton type resources. So we'll be very well off in those types of areas kind of going forward here. So it looks like we've got a couple of visitors hanging out over here that we should probably take care of. Especially since neither one of them have the banner. I guess that they came in and kind of assisted this guy. Now, I don't know what Grimace is doing here, because he's got kind of his arms raised up this way, but he's passive, so that's kind of weird that he has kind of this outstretched arms, kind of like a zombie. I don't know. Maybe there's something that we can do to correct that or kind of solve that issue that he's got there, but I don't think it's the biggest issue, all things considered. So I think it's also time that we actually kind of set up a little area here that we call our kind of bedroom or living area, because, well, we built this nice house and we need to kind of furnish it and come up with some things to be placed here. Now, apparently an Enderman came and visited me and dropped off a block of dirt in here, so we'll go ahead and pick that up. But I'm going to try a couple of different things that I have seen. And one of the first things that I want to go ahead and do involves some spruce. I don't know why I came outside, because I need to go downstairs to where I keep my wood reserves and such. So let's go ahead and get a spruce log here. And I actually think that I'm going to... Oh, I have a spot for moss. I had forgotten about that. I was about to make a whole new inventory space there for it. But we should kind of clear up a little bit of this as well. And I actually think I'm going to need 2 spruce logs here. So let's go all the way up to our top floor and go ahead and sleep in our bed here. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to place right here a spot or a kind of a bedside table, if you will. And I think we can get away with putting one on either side. We'll then go ahead and grab, I think we can put azalea bushes in there. And I know that we have some. I actually didn't put them downstairs. They're in one of these shulker boxes of mine. And I think that's the one. Now, I think I can place azalea on that, but I actually can't. So that's going to be interesting. So what if we do this instead? I'm going to break this bed out. And then we're going to try something different. We're going to put a piece of dirt right here in this corner. We're then going to take our spruce stairs and we're going to put them around like so. And I actually think I like that. So we'll go ahead and do the little azalea bush right there. But I actually think one of the things that I've liked a little bit better is if you put an azalea bush without the flowers, and then, now that I've stored all of my moss downstairs, if we come down here and grab 1 block of moss out of our moss storage, and you place that up on top of the azalea bush, I actually think that kind of helps it decently well in terms of how it blends together going up. Kind of make a nice little bedside tree, if you will, or tree that we have inside. I see a lot more people using this type of style outside the home, but having something right here honestly isn't too far of a cry. So we'll go ahead and set our respawn point right there. And I will probably at some point want to put a pot right here that has a dead bush in it, but I need to do a little bit more in order to grab that. Or I need to grab a couple more things in order to make that work. Mainly get a pot or make a pot. And then we'll also need to make sure that we get a dead bush, and those are a little bit harder to come by because they only grow in certain biomes. I guess we do have a desert right here that we can fly over to real quick and grab it. I don't recall if we have to get it with shears or if we have to get it with a silk touch item. So we're going to try 2 different things. We're going to try this, and that did give us the dead bush. Cool. I didn't remember if it was shears, but let me go ahead and check something else. No, see, even breaking it with my silk touch pick broke it down into sticks, so you have to shear them if you want to pick them up. And then I don't recall if clay, does it have to be cooked up into bricks and then you make bricks into a pot, or is it terracotta? I honestly don't recall. Okay, flower pots are made out of bricks, which is kind of a confusing recipe if you ask me. But we'll go ahead and place this up here in our bedroom area. Right here on the other side of our bed, we'll go ahead and place this there as well. And then the only other thing that I would like to do with that is I think that these look kind of dead and awkward. So let's try 2 different things. I'm going to grab 1 oak leaf off of this tree. And then I'm going to grab 1 block of moss from the basement storage we've got here. I'm going to see kind of which one I prefer. No, I don't think I like that as much. So let's go ahead and place this leaf block right there. And I think that that's well enough. I will probably switch this out for a flowering azalea leaf once I have some of those, and that will be a little bit better right there. Now, the other two things that I want to go ahead and take care of is I'm going to light this area up, and I think the best way to do that is going to be by going into the nether, getting a couple of shroom lights, and then we'll place some decorative carpet around this whole top floor, at least to conceal the lights and where we're missing them. So one of the things that I'd been holding off on was putting a door on the house, and that's because I genuinely like the looks of jungle doors. I think that they're one of the better looking door types in the game. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and put in a jungle door here, except I can never remember how to do this right. There we are. So the reason I've placed it like this, and if you don't know, I'm going to say it again because I tend to explain why I do these doors a lot, is in hard and hardcore difficulties of Minecraft, zombies have the ability to break doors, but only when they are in their closed position. And when you place a door, it is neutrally in its closed position. So right now, this door is recognized as being closed. And now the game recognizes it as being open, despite the fact that my door is closed. So this will just kind of help me keep the monsters out. And that's kind of what you want in your house. You don't just want monsters strolling in through your front door. And that's no exception in our case at all. Let's also go ahead and store up some of these random wood types that we've got here, just to make a little extra room in our inventory. Because the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our wool, and we're going to take a bunch of blue, and we're going to take a bunch of white, because I think that that's the kind of idea I want to go with. I haven't ever worked with doing an actual carpet. But that's, again, kind of the whole point of this series. So we're going to go ahead and make some light blue and some white carpets. And we're probably going to need more. But let's just kind of give ourselves an outline of the area on the floor. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more of these carpets, actually. Yeah, I actually like this quite a bit. It's an abnormally shaped carpet, and the reason I don't just kind of take it all the way out here is because I really like having this texture on the wood, of it being like kind of a more commonly walked area. So we'll leave that there and keep this wool carpeting in this general shape. And then it's really well lit up to the point where you don't have to be concerned about mobs spawning in. And I might be able to fix that issue over here with this by having top half slabs as the floor, because I believe that light can traverse through slabs either way since they're not considered full blocks. So I might be able to circumvent having this torch here by conveniently placing a light source underneath here on a top half slab that makes up the ceiling here. And then we'll put, it's going to be a weird way to do it, but I think I'll do top half slabs around the top end of this ceiling, and then I will have bottom half slabs on top of the top halves up above, except for the area where I have light blocks. That way I don't have monsters spawning in the attic space, because I don't think I want to have a functional attic in this area, because I just don't really see a use or a purpose in this particular build to having something like that. But yeah, that was my attempt at doing some interior design. I hope that things went well enough, at least for a beginner who's never done anything like that in any of his homes or builds. There's a lot more things that I hope to improve on, and I definitely think that that's something that helps a fair amount. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for the daily variety content, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.